Today we're gonna go over developing 120 roll of film from my recently acquired Yashica C. Um, let's go over the chemicals we're gonna use to do that. For developer, I'm using Adox Adonal developer, black and white film developer. They say it's the same formula as a Rodinal, which dates back to 1930s. It's really good developer. I use 1:50 solution to develop 120. For a stop bath, we're going to use Ilford stop bath solution 1:19. I've been using this forever and it's really good. It's a really good chemical. It's indicator stop bath. So that means that it changes color when it's exhausted. I believe it goes from yellow to purple. We're going to be using Ilford Rapid Fixer for a fixer. So solution is 1:4. I usually use about, I pre-mix it, I put it in a bottle, and that lasts about 20 rolls of film for me. I don't like to go more because it usually exhausts itself and then we have problems. Of course, you need to have a timer. I bought this timer at Radio Shack, like $20. It's a really good timer. We're gonna be using Kodak PhotoFlow. It's to final wash. You just put a few drops of that bad boy in a final wash, and it gets rid of all the spotting and prevents spotting on the film. If you have hard water like I do, it helps a lot. So, of course, you need some kind of protection, so always wear rubber gloves. Alright, now let me show you what's going on here. Here you can see I have the chemicals already pre-mixed. We have a developer, a stop, and a fixer. And what I'm doing here is they're sitting in a water bath. The water bath is about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm bringing them down to temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Since my tap water is not really temperature controlled, I have to resort to cooling my chemicals, especially in summer months because the water is a little bit warmer. You want to make sure the temperature is correct. It's got to be about 68. It's got to be 68 degrees Fahrenheit, especially for the developer. If the stop or fixer are a little bit warmer, just a degree or two, yeah, so it's fine. But the developer has to be right temperature, or you have to either shorten or add more time to the developing process depending on the temperature. There are charts for that, you can look that up. Of course, we already preloaded the film, and I'm going to do another segment on that. I'm using Patterson System 4 tank. It fits either two 35mm rolls of film or one 120, and it uses plastic roll. I'm going to do there's actually a lot of videos on YouTube that show you how to load the film, and they go over the Patterson system, so I'm not going to do that. So let me get the stuff ready and let me check the temperatures, and I'll come back and we'll start the developing process. Okay, so the chemicals are the right temperature. Like the developer is the right temperature right now. So what we're going to do is get our tank with film in it ready. Our timer is set to 13.5, actually 13.5 minutes for this developer, this temperature, and this solution. And I'm wearing my protection. Alright, let's start. So what I'm going to do, once I start pouring developer, I'll stop the timer. And I'm going to agitate it about 10 seconds. And cover it up. This is an inversion tank, so we're going to be doing, the agitating is going to be by inverting the tank. You want to make sure it's locked. And top on the bottom, that releases all the air bubbles up, and so it, you know, helps with a even developing process. So now every minute I'm gonna inverse the tank 10 times on every minute. Alright, so 1 minute has gone by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And tap on the bottom. What you want to make sure is that you don't miss, you watch the time and you do it exactly the same amount of times, the same way. It's got to be constant. You cannot change things. If you keep changing things, your negatives will come out differently. And then you don't know what happened because you changed so many things. So if you want to change one thing at a time and then see what it gives you. Of course, I'm not going to stand here for 30 minutes and record the film developing. I'm going to cut it into shorter segments. Alright, so another minute's gone by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Top on the bottom. And you notice that while I'm turning the tank, okay, I'm inverting the tank, I also turn it a little bit. That helps with even developing. So we're going to do one more time, then I'm going to stop the video. We're going to come back just before the developing process is complete. Gotta watch the timer. It would be ideal to have a water bath with a 68-degree water in it so we can put our tank in there, but it works for me the way it is. Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we're going to be doing that every minute for 10 seconds. Inverting the tank and turning it. And right now I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to come back in just a bit. Alright, so we've been developing the film for about 11 minutes now. We only have 2 minutes left, and now a word of advice. The developer we're using, it says that it's not real good for the environment, so you don't want to really dump it in your drain and let it flow who knows where. It says right there on the label it's not good for fish and little squirrels and other things that roam around. So what you want to do is just put it back in your mixing bottle and just take it over to the place where they process oils and other chemicals, and they'll utilize it or dispose it properly. Okay, we're down to our last minute, so we're just gonna hang around and wait for the developing process to complete. And right here I got stop bath. It's about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and my fixer is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So what we're gonna do is just wait for this last minute. I already inverted a couple times. I can open the tank. The tank is light tight. Light doesn't get in there. It's got special buffers here. so you can't really expose the film just by opening it. It's designed like that so you can pour chemicals in it. 30 seconds left. I'm going to pour this developer out, and when that's done, immediately we're going to put the stop bath, and that will stop the developing process in its tracks. Just get ready, and what you want to do is, when the timer beeps, you want to be done pouring this developer out. Alright, I'm going to pour the stop bath. And I like to keep the stop bath in there for about 30 seconds. Actually, the stop bath stops the developing process immediately. You don't really have to keep it there for 30 seconds, but in order, just to be sure that all the little pieces of film get in contact with the stop bath, you want to just agitate it. And I like to do constant agitation for stop bath only. Alright, so we clear it. And you want to reuse the stop bath, so you just put it back in your bottle and put it back in your pre-mixed solution. Alright, so we're going to pour it out. And now the developing process has stopped. We're going to put a fixer. I like to fix it for about 5 minutes. So I'm going to pour it in and start the timer. Fixer is a really cool animal. It clears up all the unexposed silvers off the film, and whatever's left over is what becomes our image. Alright, so what you want to do, I like to rinse all the developer off the lids. You want to agitate it every minute for about 10 seconds. And when you're done, you just pour it back in a bottle. It's the same process as with a developer. You invert the tank and you just turn it every time you invert it. But I like to do it 10 times every minute. Tap it on the bottom to release the air bubbles. I'm going to stop the video again, and before the fixing process is done, I'm going to restart it, and we're going to finish up the developing process. So we're about a minute and a half away from the end of the process, and film's going to get washed after that, and I'll show you the way I like to wash it. Some people use the power washers. They use the special jujitsus to wash the film. I don't really see the need for that. I've been washing that way for forever, and I've developed hundreds of rolls of film and never had problems with that. So what we're going to do now is just wait 1 more minute for the fixing process to complete. And we're going to reuse the fixer. The only one non-reusable chemical is the developer. It's called one-shot developer. So we just develop and just get rid of it, basically. The fixer, the stop bath, we can reuse. The older the fixer gets, the more time it takes to fix the film. So you want to do just a test on the beginning. You just cut a piece of film, dump it in there. Whatever time it takes to fix, you double it in the fixing process. If you go over a couple seconds over the fixing time, it doesn't really affect the film. We're going to stop it, clear it, dump the fixer. Now the fun part starts. We're going to wash the film. What I like to do is just run cold water, fill up the tank, cover it up, not tight but just loosely, and then invert it 20 times. And just dump the water out. You can see how cool and purple and different color it is. It's actually the anti-halation layer getting washed out, and all the dyes and all the goodies that live on a piece of film. Just fill it up with water and wash it. You want to repeat this process 3 or 4 times until the film is clean and the water that you're going to drain out is actually clear. If it's still it's got specks of color in it, you want to repeat the process until it is clear. The water is almost clear, so we're going to do one more time. The washing gets rid of all the dyes and leftover fixtures, all the nasties. We don't really want them there. You want your film to be clean and squeaky and beautiful. Alright, the water is clear. So what we're going to do now, open this sucker up, pour some water, and we're going to add just 2 drops of Kodak PhotoFlow. That it says you have to, the solution is supposed to be 1 to 200. I don't know how the heck you get 1 to 200. So I'm just adding 4 drops of that solution into around 600 milliliters of clear water, clean water, should I say. Alright, just swish it around in there. And now, the moment of truth. Something should be on the film. get images. Wow. Beautiful. Alright, what I'm going to do now is hang the film to dry. And if you notice that use my fingers to squeegee the film. Some people do it, some people don't. That's the way I like to do it. So the film is drying, it's all happy. And just scrolling over through the images that are on the film. I noticed that my newly cleaned, lubricated, and adjusted Yashica C is just crapping out. I don't know. It cuts off, it starts too early and ends too late. Or vice versa, rather. I don't know what the heck. I have to check it out. But, nevertheless, we got images. That's all, folks. That's it. That's how you develop for all of 120. Hope you enjoyed it, and come back for more videos. And if you like it, leave a comment. If you don't, then leave the comment too.